This is your 702.
Let's walk the talk this summer.
My guest for the next hour is Sanele Gamede, Dr. Sanele Gamede, who joins us in studio. And he's a life and career coach, and he's going to be helping us with these New Year's resolutions. Dr. Gamede, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. I almost said good afternoon.
Yes.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners. It's actually great to have me here. I'm honored, especially because this is the last day. So I was like, oh, I'm spending it with the rich aunties, you know.
And you're going to be leaving that sweet taste, I hope, in the mouths of many as we enter into the new year. New Year's resolutions, always interesting to talk about those because the one thing we do is set New Year's resolutions at the end of the year. It's almost the one question that you get asked, right? What are your resolutions? Are you setting any resolutions? Do you still set New Year's resolutions?
Actually, I was sitting yesterday because I'm lucky that I will say I'm lucky. I used to complain that my birthday is on the 28th of December.
Sure.
So I used to complain, would say, hey, people are busy, partying, no one cares. But I find myself lucky because it is the end of the year. So I get to reflect on the year because it's my birthday. So what I will normally do beginning of the month, I will start thinking about what has happened. And I was actively putting together in writing now some of my New Year resolutions, which is something that I did pause for a while. For a couple of years, I wasn't doing it. But this time around, I said, you know what, let me go back to it. I will normally combine it with my vision board. So that's where I will put it. But this time around, I said, you know what, let me start with them.
And I mean, resolutions are a special kind of reflection because, you know, it's a promise almost that you make to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a decision that you're saying, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this in the next year. And for some reason, it's the one promise that we almost always break.
And I like how you have paused there.
Yes.
You want me to admit and say, yes, I'm also conflicted. Yes, that's true. We break some of the promises that we make. And I feel like saying it's okay. Some of these things might not work out as we have planned. Life is not a ruler. Life is not like a robot where if you have punched this code, it will act like this. You know, sometimes life has glitches. We are human beings. So we do have some of these resolutions that we said, you know what, I will quit smoking. And, you know, along the way, you get, you know, crippled along the way and you go back. Not that we are promoting that we go back from what we have said we will do, but it's life. It happens.
Is there a code to setting New Year's resolutions and actually sticking to them? Is there a way that we can go about it where you think, you know, if I do it this way, then maybe I'll be successful?
I think I wouldn't say there is an existing code per se that I'm aware of. Even if I was aware of, I will say, ignore it and maybe use this one, not as a code probably, but what I will say, personalize them. Forget about the TikTok videos and everyone else. Just personalize them. Just make them about you. Sit down and figure out and be honest. This is the time when you write New Year resolutions. I think you need to create some quietness so that there is no external influence per se, as much as it's okay to copy from someone else and be like, you know what, this is beautiful. I want to probably go after this qualification because it aligns with where I'm going. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's time to create some quietness and start reflecting personally and be honest with yourself instead of trying to be a copycat, trying to live up to certain standards set by people that probably you don't even agree with. So I think the biggest code is yourself. in this instance.
Yeah. And why do you believe we fail usually when it comes to our New Year's resolutions? Is it because we are too ambitious? I found myself thinking, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. 5 times. And I haven't been to the gym in ages. But I said, come the 15th, I must go to the gym 5 times a week. And I must eat broccoli and cauliflower at least 3 times a week. I know that that's not practical. Do you think sometimes we do too much?
I think some of the reasons, there are many reasons why we will fail.
Yeah.
But some of the reasons, number one, it's the lack of an accountability partner. So someone who could help you, put you into a task. Sometimes we don't have mentors and coaches in our lives, people that provide advice and help us go through the pain that we need to go through.
Yeah.
Sometimes we set these goals, like you said, too high. We become so much ambitious that we don't realize that this thing is not going to be achievable. And what happened is, when you realize that this is difficult, you end up it creates some resentment, and you wanna you get angry, you give up, and you sometimes let go of everything because of just one thing, because you're now thinking, even the next goal probably is not going to happen, because this is what I really wanted and this is the biggest thing in my life and it's not happening, so I just give up with everything. Sometimes it's the lack of support structure that makes us give up. We said I wanna be on 702 on Mondays, but we didn't put support structure that will help you be there every Monday, because coming here means you need to spend money, time, you need to sacrifice and all of that. So you need to have a support structure, a very solid support structure that will help you before you even take the journey. In fact, if you visit the Bible, you will find a scripture there that speaks of how unwise it is for someone who wants to build a house, but do not start with the planning of what would it take for the house to be a house. Because if they don't, probably they will fail along the way. And the scripture says people will laugh. And those are some of the reasons why we then give up, because people are now seeing what we said, especially because we pronounce so much because of social media.
Yes.
We pronounce almost everything. So now people are watching and this thing is not happening and people are starting to gossip. You created the gossip, by the way. You made people to gossip you because you spoke so loud, you didn't plan, you didn't calculate.
Yeah.
The scripture speaks of calculating what material will go into the house before you even dig the foundation.
You see, this is why, I when it comes to vision boards, I don't even go to vision board parties. And I know that that's a popular thing right now. Everyone is having a vision board party.
There's a vision board party?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have vision board parties
I had
now?
a breakfast last year, on the 6th. I almost said last year.
It was a vision board.
Not a party, it was a breakfast.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. And people have vision board events where we all come there and we put our plans on. And, for me, it's not even what people, but it's just the fact that now if I fail, everyone will know that Kgomotso said she's going to save 200,000 rand.
Kgomotso, come on.
And I only saved 2,000 rand in December. I can't do that to myself.
Come on, Kgomotso. I think you are setting yourself in that space to actually create some level of accountability in your life. It's not setting yourself for failure per se.
And maybe it's because I know I will judge you if you said you were going to go to gym. So maybe I expect you to judge me as well.
I didn't expect this. And thanks for your honesty, because I know most of the listeners can relate to what you are saying.
Yes.
Where sometimes they don't want to go to these spaces like a business forum in this, because people start to think, you are a business Man, and then when you now inbox us on Facebook asking us 500 rand for petrol, they're like, how? But
business woman.
On your profile, you are a CEO of some company. But, Kgomotso, I think it's very important. Actually, let me invite you on the 7th. Yeah. I'm having, it's not what did you call it?
Vision board party.
It's not a party.
I'm not going to come. I'm not going to come. I think that it's an important thing that you're mentioning here, because we're so afraid of public failure.
Yes.
And there's spaces. I mean, I know some jobs like this one that I do, that we do. Your failure is often very public.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is an element of accountability. The more people that know what your resolution or your commitment is, the more people that can hold you accountable.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's necessary. And the pain, Kgomotso, is necessary. But I guess we are scared. And it's natural. It's okay actually to be scared. It makes you want to work hard. It puts you on the edge. I know how painful it is to be on the edge. It's like being hired as an intern or in a contract and you don't know whether it is going to be renewed, or as a freelancer and stuff like that. But that makes you wake up and never take lightly the opportunity that you are given. So it's the same thing with the vision board parties. You get people that are like-minded.
We're talking about New Year's resolutions, and my guest is Dr. Sanele Gamede. How do you actually set and achieve them? But also, I want us to go into how do you use your failures from the year before to inform your resolutions in the year coming or the year ahead. Someone else here saying, my New Year's resolution is becoming a present and active mom for my kids. These past few years have been difficult for me and my kids to put God first in my life and just to be me. I'm tired of pretending and leaving fake friends and family. I have lack of support as now I'm stressed about my kids, stationery and schoolwear because I'm financially strained and unemployed. My request is any help. She's asking if there are any people that might have help for her as her kids face 2 years in matric and grade R. She speaks about something really important here in her message. She's clearly self-aware and she's aware of those around her as well.
Yeah.
And she's making a resolution to almost guard her space, but also holding herself accountable to be a better parent.
Yes. I like that. And I want to say being self-aware shouldn't be selfish and shouldn't be interpreted as selfishness. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed by this self-aware notion, because we have people who are pushing this notion of do me. Hey, it's me first, my mental health first. And I understand it's important to guide your space, but I think we sometimes dive so deep that we find ourselves lonely and people starting to pull back because we said, no, I do me. And we post these things on social media. But I'm loving the new year resolution for her to say, you know what? I want to be a better mom. And you might find that some people have said that last year. In fact, when I do my vision board review as well, I realized that there are things that didn't happen. And it's almost you're depressing me.
No, because I feel like you are calling me out. Because Linda, I have so many things that I said I was going to do. I went in head first last year, and
I know, and I want you to be comfortable with the fact that some of these things might not work out, and that Kgomotso doesn't mean create an exit door, so that whenever the heat comes, you run away. No, I'm not saying create plan B, plan C, and whatever, because people will start with an aim or with a failure in mind. Yes. That will make you not to push hard. But at the same time, I'm saying it's okay. You do have moments where there are parts of your vision board. Or remember, a vision board is made of visions about your life. So there are visions in the vision board that couldn't materialize. And I want you to be okay with taking those with you to 2026 if they are still relevant in 2026. There are those that you might even want to take them to 2026, but they are not relevant. They are only relevant for 2029. And I want you to be comfortable with that. Move on, put it on hold. If people also start to ask you, hey, what happened to that nice car that I almost mentioned, this brand that I like? What happened to this car that you said you are going to buy? Oh, yes. That couldn't happen, boldly so. That couldn't happen in 2025 because my son lost his scholarship, so I had to chip in. But I'm pausing it for the next 2 years. I will still drive my Skorokoro, and then in 2029, I will pick it up.
Doesn't that create an environment where, like an entitlement? And I suppose maybe the people that you would be with at an event like that would be your close people, friends, I don't know, family. It's almost like people are now entitled to my life. Like, why are you asking me? Yes, I said I'm going to buy a convertible. But now I didn't buy it. Now don't ask me why I didn't buy my convertible.
but you also wanted the accountability, right?
I hear you.
So you also want, because we can't live without accountability. Trust me, you are not going to wake up and come here if there was no a system that makes you accountable. So we need that as human beings. Otherwise, it will be a mayhem. It will be just wild. So I think what we can do is maybe reduce the number of people that puts us into that accountability basket. Because if you have so many people asking you about this car that you didn't buy, then it could create depression, because you will start to think, maybe I'm a failure.
Yes.
Whereas you are not a failure at all. You just failed. And I don't want to get into the conversation, hashtag Matriculous Bloody Campaign, the t-shirt that I'm wearing, because that's what I tell young people. You are not a failure. You failed. You are not a failure. These are two different things.
Yeah.
You failed. You are not a failure. A failure is a total overall. It means you are just nothing. You are useless. You are not good for anything. That's someone who is a failure in life. But if you have failed, you failed a driver's test. It's not the end of the road. So I think we just need to burst the bubble, Kgomotso, that we live in. The TikTok bubble, the social media bubble, the pleasing other people kind of bubble, where we just want our life to be so glorified, to be so amazing. It's okay. Minanje, you will still find me accompanying my wife to buy if I break because she's sewing. You will still find me $8. You will still find me a rank.
Yes.
So I think we just so fascinated with making our lives so perfect that if someone finds you ungafakile makeup, you get depressed. Hey, don't post that picture because I wasn't wearing my makeup.
I wasn't looking my best. Doctor, I want to go back to the issue around the vision board.
That you said you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll make a vision board, but I don't think I'll come to the party or to the vision tea. Yeah, vision board tea, because I'm not sure I want the whole world to know the things I'm planning in 2026, right? But I think, something interesting around the vision board in particular is the fact that we create it so that it's there in front of you all the time, right? You don't take a vision board and put it under the bed.
Yes.
You place it where you can regularly see it.
Yes.
So that you can be reminded of your goals and targets.
Yes.
And I think that's something good, because sometimes you forget why you're doing what you're doing and what the purpose of your sacrifices is, the purpose of the decisions that you're making is. But the beautiful thing about a vision board is that it's there as a reminder.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how much time we have, because I wanted to go to the clarity part of what is a vision board, which I have explained. It's a board, whether you did it electronically, which other people are doing now, whether you do it in a piece of paper, it's a board that is made up of visions about your life. which means there are a number of things in your life that you realize, which I am studying, I am a mom, I am married, I run a business, I work at 702. So these are, you must have visions about these things that you have. You must have visions about, a vision about your family. And there is a need for you to then create goals for the vision, your family. And then creating the goals for the vision called family. You must now come up with activities that needs to be done, whether on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, for you to achieve the goal, so that when you achieve the goal, you then achieve the vision, not the visions. Remember, there are some people will have 6 visions in a vision board, and some will put pictures on it. And what I'm emphasizing today is that don't miss the opportunity of saying, now you have the picture of this bottle of water, which is your vision called family.
Yeah.
I want you to then say, underneath the picture, if you have posted a beautiful picture of your family, what is it that you want to achieve for this family? It's a beautiful picture, beautiful family, but what is it? And what goals are you setting to achieve what you said you want to achieve? 2, 3, what are the activities that needs to be done on an hourly basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly, on a monthly, so that you achieve the goal. The goal helps you achieve the vision. And I want you to be okay with the fact that some of the visions in your vision board needs to happen. There are activities that needs to happen once a month. Don't just gaze your vision board and be stressed with, things didn't happen. That's the biggest worry.
Yeah, I wish gym was one of those that I could do once a month. We're speaking about setting New Year's resolutions, how to go about achieving them. Looking forward to hearing from you. My guest is Dr. Sanele Gamede. He's a youth life and career coach, talking us through setting those goals for the new year. Are you one of those people that set your goals and resolutions, or have you stopped doing that? And do you make your goals public and known, like these vision board parties? Get in touch with us at 011 883 0702 072 702 1702.
702.
Call us on 011 883 0702.
Welcome back. This is the Clement Mayotela Show. My name is Kgomotso Modise, in for Clem this festive season. Thank you so much for tuning in. 11:35 on 702, and we're speaking New Year's resolutions, but also talking about just how to go about setting them. And are you a person who sets New Year's resolutions? Do you have a vision board? And do you make your goals public? Are you like me? Nah, I'm so afraid of making my goals and ambitions public. In fact, I just keep that board in my bedroom, and the only people that would see it would be my mom. That's when I used to make physical vision boards. We'd love to hear from you on this, especially as we have what is it, 12 hours and 25 minutes left of the year. And we'll be in the year 2026. Do you make your resolutions in the year before, or do you wait to get to ngena, as they say, or do you wait for the new year to begin before you set your resolution? Do you write them down? Do you keep a mental note? Do you type them? Do you make an electronic vision board? Is that something you care about, or do you kind of just take it as it comes? Do you like the surprise, the element of surprise? And is it about planning for you, or as some people say, manifesting? We're speaking about that on the show for our listeners' choice this morning. And let's go to the lines. We have Pamela in Rilliput. Pamela, good morning. You also make vision boards.
Good morning. Yes, you and your guest. Yes, I do. But I only started doing vision boards last year, March, after I joined a network marketing business to supplement my income. I didn't do any vision boards, and now I know why my New Year's resolutions never succeeded. So in network marketing, you've got daily KPIs, you've got an accountable partner, and you've got weekly KPIs. So daily, after the day has ended, you need to report to your coach on what you've done and why you couldn't do certain activities. Then on a weekly basis, you review what you've done daily. Then on a monthly basis, you review your weekly targets. And that's how I was able to progress in the business. And this is the same system that I now use for my life.
Sure.
And it is working excellently. And that lady who is seeking for help, the one who's unemployed and has kids and does not know how she'll make ends meet next year, I'm willing to coach her in my network marketing company. So you can give her my number, or I don't know, how should we go about it? Should I give you my number for you to forward to her, or anyone else who would want to make extra income? Because I started this business part-time, and I'm now doing it full-time because I'm also unemployed. Yeah. I've been unemployed since September, but every month I make a good 12 to 15,000 rand extra, and that would really help someone, whether you're employed or not. And I'm willing to hold someone's hand and help them through the process.
Well, we will put you back to the producer, and she'll take those details. But I'm interested in how detailed your vision boards usually are. Do you go into incredible detail, or do you just keep it vague? You know, just say gym. You don't say gym 3 to 5 times a week.
It is very detailed because, for example, if I say today I need to go to gym, I need to say how many hours, from what time. I also need to set time frames to say from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock I will be at gym, for example. So it is very detailed, because when it's vague, you tend to lose focus on the journey. So it needs to be detailed to the T.
And you say you've incorporated it into your life. Is this an annual thing that you do, or is it a half-yearly thing? I've seen people that do vision boards more than once a year.
I do it every 6 months because I've noticed that when I stretch it out to 1 year, it becomes too large for me and it becomes overwhelming. So I cut it down to 6 months. But then every month I review the KPIs that I needed to do within that month.
All right, That's Pamela and Riddlepoet. Well, congratulations, Pamela. I'm glad that you found a system that works for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that many of us will be taking this into the new year. But have yourself a fantastic new year, and I wish you all of the very best.
Amazing. I like it.
All right. Yes, I mean that's lovely, right?
I'm happy that when she was speaking, I saw your face, with a smile, and I'm seeing you encouraged there to coming to my vision board party.
Yes. I'm not sold on the party, but I'll make the vision board at home and keep it at home. But I like how she says, that she started it in her work, and now it's informed all the other parts of her life.
It was beautiful to listen to that, and the fact that we spoke about accountability partners earlier, and then she's saying, we didn't ask whether the other aspects of her life, who is the accountability partner, because I use my wife, and I have a mentor at work, I have a mentor in life, so I have different people that are helping me achieve. Some I don't meet them weekly or monthly. Some I meet them once, maybe in 3 months or something like that, or when it's necessary for us to do so. So I was wondering who is the accountability partner in some of the aspects of her life, but it was beautiful.
Yeah. And how advisable is it to hinge your resolutions on other people? Sometimes we'll set up our goals around the people, on the people around us. I want to be like the person that says, I want to be a better mom, and sometimes I find that when you do that, setting goals around other people makes it easier to fail, when other people inform the success of your resolution, that could, cause failure. I'm of those people that I just set it for myself. Like I just say, you see, when you set a goal for gym, it's me. There's no one else who can influence that. If I set a goal to eat clean, that's me. There's no one else that can influence that. Yeah. It's harder when you set your goals around relationships, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there is a difference, my sister, that our listeners should know. You set your vision board. I mean your vision or your goals alone, and then you submit it to this accountability partner to say, this is what I'm thinking of doing this year. Please help me account, not what do you think I should achieve this year? Then it's easier for you to fail because it wasn't your thing. You discussed it with your friends. Even the vision board parties that you are referring to, the biggest mistake that makes people overwhelmed and feel like, no, this thing, it's scary, it's exposing yourself, you are setting yourself for failure. It's because people don't come to these seminars or these breakfasts or these parties with their visions. They want to look at what so and so is doing, what so and so is doing, and then they're like, "Oh, Nami, let me cut." Yes, let me cut. Because in some of these parties, they are old newspapers or they are old magazines where people can cut or download pictures and all of that. So people don't really come with what they want and just use that space as a space where I can clear my head and be surrounded with people who are in the same mind, not people who are going to tell me how many hours should I put into the gym.
I hear you. How important is it to set the success, what success is for yourself? So, like have a measure for success. Because sometimes I think, you didn't necessarily fail.
Yeah.
You might not have done it or achieved it on the scale that you hoped to. But how important is it to say, okay, maybe buying a car for you is buying a little A to B, but buying a car for me might be a slasher, as I was saying, or
yes.
a convertible, right? How important is it for you in these visions to kind of define what success is for you?
I think on the acronym SMART goals, the M there stands for measurable, which means from the start, you need to be able to measure the success here. You need to be able to say, I want to buy the slasher. This is how much the slasher is, and this is how much I will owe. This is when I see that I have achieved this or whatsoever, whatever that you are planning. But your goals, it's very important that you are able to measure the success and don't make the mistake of having people to measure your success because you have set this goal yourself and you know what it takes for you to achieve it, and when would you see that you have achieved this thing.
Yes.
It's very important.
Of course, the slasher is a convertible for those who might not know.
Yes.
A fancy convertible. People refer to it as a slasher matende. All right. Is it wise to have several goals? And how many goals is too many?
This is one of the most important thing. As I've indicated, you have a vision which has goals that needs to be put down for you to achieve this vision. And then you need to have activities that needs to be done. So I wouldn't advise that you have too many goals in one vision.
Yeah.
And this, I call it a component of a vision board. So for example, I work at the University of Johannesburg. So I have a vision for my work or for my job at the University of Johannesburg. I need to know what are the goals that I need to set so that I can achieve this vision that I have. So don't put it don't make them too many, because it means there will be too many activities that needs to be done for each and every goal that you have that helps you achieve that vision that you have about your job or about your family, your marriage, your business, or whatsoever that you have. But it's up to you, and it's not something that cut and stone kind of a thing. It's up to you. You know what you are doing, and you need to know what is it. But the guidance, I think it's also very important to receive guidance so that you don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah. And is it okay to change my resolution halfway through the year? Sometimes you realize that this is not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose 30 kgs
in 2026.
Yes, and then you change it, or is that regarded failure as well?
I wouldn't regard it as failure. We wouldn't have mid-year review, even at work. We do review your KPIs that you have set for yourself, and sometimes 702 can say, you know what, your HR will say, well, I know and I appreciate that you said this is what you can do, but since now that you have your kids starting at school, or now that things have changed in your life in this way, some people will get sick in March. Just after we have started the year, and then you now review to say, you know what, I said I will go to the gym 5 times a week, but because I'm not feeling well, I am now changing the vision around my health, which means I'm changing the goals, which means I'm changing the activities that needs to be done. So it's sometimes it's not failure unless you are deliberately going to your vision board to change because you are scared. You think, it's not going to happen, and friends are going to laugh at you when we do these vision board parties at the end of the year when we are doing the review of the year and all of that. That I will call it failure because you were deliberate about it. But if you did it because you saw circumstances change in your life or in that aspect, and you thought, you know what, let me tweak a little bit here. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. You're making me feel better about myself, right?
I was hoping.
Yeah, and I think many of our listeners also will feel a little
I was
better.
hoping by the end of the conversation, so that we are able to say, you know what, Kgomotso is coming on the 7th of March, where...
Yeah, I'm still not sold on that, And I'll tell you, my biggest fear, I feel that maybe it's a thing.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
No, I just
maybe there's still 2 minutes from the producer.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Nothing happened to me, ne? I just don't want the whole world to know that I'm planning to go to Dubai.
Have you tried though?
No.
Telling the world?
No.
So it's not like you were disappointed before.
No.
Come on, Kgomotso. It's like you were going to say, Sanele, I did it and I was embarrassed and all of that. So you have never tried.
Maybe it's because maybe I'm the judgy one, you see. So I also think people are judging me.
You're too honest.
Yeah,
I like you.
Maybe I'm the one who looks at you. When you, Sanele, say you're planning to go, I don't know, wherever for whatever, I'm sitting there next to you going,
I'm like,
where, nana?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see how it comes together. But I think that it's an important conversation to have. Let's talk about how much you should allow the previous year's failures and challenges to inform your New Year's resolutions.
I think our listener should admit and accept and acknowledge and embrace some of the things that didn't go well in 2025 going to 2026. And I think once you don't embrace and admit and speak it out loud and appreciate what has happened, you will go sad in 2026. When people are celebrating, hey, Happy New Year, you will go there very sad because you are carrying this anger, you are carrying this frustration. So I don't want what happened in 2025 to have a negative, mostly a negative impact on what is about to happen in 2026, but it must influence how in lessons. There are some lessons that I would like you to take with you. There are some things that I would like you to say, you know what, I messed up there. You know what, I had these type of people in 2025. You know what, I did this and it didn't work out. So as I'm going to 2026, these are some of the benchmarks that I'm using in a way to kind of measure, because you can't say you will go to the gym 5 times a week in 2025 and you failed dismally. You went like 2 times, and then 2026 you're saying I'm going to the gym 6 times a week when you couldn't even make it 4 times a week in 2025. So I think that's what you can use to influence your 2026 vision or goals.
And I suppose also just having a healthy mix, because there are those goals that I think are worth carrying over.
Yes,
those that you think, this is a good goal, it's a good target, maybe tweak it a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not saving 100,000, maybe we're saving 50,000, and that might be more attainable. But the goal in itself stays. And then there are, of course, the newer ones, that you might say, in this new year, I want to learn how
to play a piano.
How to play the piano.
Yes.
But having a good mix on your vision board or among your plans, I think is healthier.
It's definitely, you are right, it's definitely healthier because you don't want, even when you start your day, I remember I mentioned it somewhere in my 4th book on how to avoid distractions and in the TikTok era. I did mention there is a formula called Eat a Frog First, where you start with these things that are heavy, these duties that are not nice and stuff like that. So you need to have a kind of a mix so that you are able to adjust and be happy about some other things and not be happy about some other things, which is okay. It gives you that kind of a blend where you are like, you know what? Yesterday the day wasn't fine because I was doing this, but I'm looking forward to Monday because on Monday I will be doing 1 and 2 and 3, which are things that are more flexible within your vision, within your goals. So I think it's very, very important to diversify them. Don't put in 1 year all the hardest things. You will go crazy.
I think that, I'm taking notes, okay? I'm taking notes. I think this is going to inform a lot of my planning. I think finally, your parting shots, for one to plan for a successful year ahead. In between being realistic, but also being ambitious. I think it's good to be ambitious, right?
Yeah.
But also there's the, be realistic. What should one do who's listening at home on how to set themselves up for a success and a prosperous 2026?
You will forgive me for saying this. I don't know if we are allowed on 702, but I will say start with God. That is very important. It's a personal thing, but I'm just putting it out there to say start with God. And when I say start with God, make him the center of everything. In whatever that you do, he governs how I take decisions, what I do and all of that. But also it's very important to personalize this vision or these visions in your vision board and make sure that as we go to 2026, you don't carry 2025 with you. You carry certain elements with you that probably shaped your life. It could be for best or things that were very painful. Some of these things you will carry them as monuments, whether for good times or monuments for a reminder that you don't repeat the same mistakes that you did in 2025. But it's very important to go there with a clear mind. I almost said I wish we could pause social media at 7 or 8 in the evening and open it at 5 in the next day, because really we need to pause a little bit. I want you to evaluate this whole thing of everyone being a content creator and no one wants to work on their vision and their goals because they are busy creating content.
All right, Dr. Sanele Gamede, thank you so much for your time.
And thank you so much. And I will see you on the 7th of March in Johannesburg. We are having a breakfast there. And
we're making vision boards.
And we're not so much. There are a lot of things. If a listener wants to connect with me and learn more, 07280690992. And I'm Dr. Sanele in all social media platforms. So inbox me and I will send you more details. And please help me, listeners, convince Kgomotso to come to this event.
I'm not so sure. Dr. Sanele Gamede is a youth life and career coach helping us through that conversation on New Year's resolutions and vision boards. You know what? I think I'm going to start making my board, whether it will be public and whether I'll be doing it with many other people around me.